Kirkintilloch Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @QuenReview. That is @CuenDreview. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@quenreview.com. That is INFORMATION @CuenDreview.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's podcast, published on the 19th of March 2025, is read to you by volunteers Alan, Corey, Hunter, Ian, Jahan, Nikki and Philip. We hope you enjoy the podcast.
Quartet Hit Right Notes, a report by Julie Curry. A record-breaking number of young musicians took to the stage at this year's Scottish Schools Pipe Band Championships. Held at Kilmarnock's William McIlvenney campus on Sunday, March 9, the championships saw 94 bands from 144 schools compete across 8 categories, showcasing both traditional and contemporary performances. And at the largest event in the competition's history, East Dunbartonshire schools took first place in the quartets category. The victory is a testament to the incredible skill and dedication of young musicians from the region, further strengthening East Dunbartonshire's reputation for excellence in piping and drumming. With instructor Andrew Wallace, the winning quartet members were Rachel from St Ninian's High, Lewis from Kirkintilloch High, and Callum from Beauclair Academy in Bearsden. Councillor Linda Williamson, East Dunbartonshire Council's Education Committee convener, said, "Congratulations to Andrew, Callum, Lewis and Rachel on their success at this prestigious national event. This year's competition was bigger than ever, and the standard was exceptionally high. It is a huge achievement for the East Dunbartonshire Schools Quartet to take first place in their category. The commitment, talent and hard work of these young musicians is inspirational. They should be very proud. Thanks to everyone in their schools and the Council's instrumental Music Youth Music initiative who supported them on their journey." The 2025 success story comes hot on the heels of last year's victory, which saw the quartet category won by young musicians from St Ninian's High School, with second place also an East Dunbartonshire quartet made up of pupils from Beauclair Academy and Lenzie Academy. The latest victory is testament to the incredible skill and dedication of young musicians from the area. Organised by the Scottish Schools Pipes and Drums Trust, SSPDT, the championships continue to highlight how piping and drumming are becoming more accessible in Scottish schools. Thanks to the Trust's efforts, more young people, regardless of gender, background or financial circumstances, are now learning traditional instruments. Lindsay Mackenzie, SSPDT Chief Executive, said, "This year's championships have been a landmark event. Not only did we see a record number of bands, but we also witnessed an incredible sense of community among the young musicians. The camaraderie, teamwork and shared passion for piping and drumming were truly inspiring. Schools across Scotland are embracing piping and drumming as an inclusive and accessible way to bring young people together fostering teamwork, confidence and a sense of belonging through music. Since its launch in 2015, SSPDT has worked to break down barriers to participation by providing free instrument loans, tuition grants and internship programs. It currently supports young musicians in schools across 27 of Scotland's 32 local authorities. That report was written by Julie Curry.
Mobility business expands. Plans to expand as firm's revenue surpasses £1.5 million. Report by Kevin McRoberts. A leading independent provider of mobility equipment has unveiled plans for expansion after surpassing £1.5 million in annual revenue for the first time. Billy Finney, founder of Kirkintilloch-based Mobility Scotland, has revealed the company is actively exploring opportunities to establish a presence in Edinburgh within the next 5 years to meet growing demand in the east. Longer-term ambitions include further expansion into the north of Scotland, reinforcing Mobility Scotland's commitment to providing ethical and customer-focused mobility solutions across the country. Since founding the business in 2009, Billy has overseen steady and sustainable growth, driven by a belief in prioritising customer needs over aggressive sales tactics. The company has gained a reputation for trust and quality, offering tailored installations of stair lifts, rise and recline chairs and other mobility solutions. He said, "Ultimately, what we do is to help people retain their independence and live comfortably in the homes that they love. Many of our customers are older, and there can be a lot of scepticism when companies push sales targets over genuine needs. Too often, big firms that enter the market focus purely on numbers, selling expensive products that aren't always necessary. We have taken a different approach, one built on trust, expertise and a long-term commitment to the people we serve." Billy's journey into the mobility sector was shaped by an early career in occupational health. Starting as an occupational health technician with Strathclyde Council over 30 years ago, he saw firsthand the transformative impact mobility solutions could have on people's lives. This insight stayed with him as he spent 2 decades in commercial sales and business development, working with companies such as Gilbert and Universal Office Supplies, where he rose to Regional Sales Director for Scotland. Despite his corporate success, Billy always harboured an entrepreneurial drive. At 41, he faced a now-or-never moment and decided to forge his own path, returning to his roots in healthcare. What he found was an industry plagued by inconsistent pricing, undervalued solutions and poor customer service. Determined to make a difference, he launched Mobility Scotland with just £5,000 and a 100 square metre showroom in Kirkintilloch. His goal was simple: to provide mobility solutions based on genuine need rather than sales targets. He said, "We'd only sell a product if it truly met a customer's needs. Too often people had been missold expensive equipment that wasn't suitable, leaving them with products they couldn't use. That had to change." Over the past 15 years, Mobility Scotland has expanded into a team of 10 full-time and 2 part-time staff, developing strong partnerships with global manufacturers such as Handicare, Recliners and Alpine. Earning the trust of these major suppliers took nearly a decade, but the company is now recognised as a preferred partner, allowing it to provide bespoke solutions tailored to individual needs. One of Mobility Scotland's key differentiators has been its commitment to innovation. The company introduced courtesy chairs for customers awaiting delivery and a lifetime support guarantee, reinforcing its reputation for service and customer care. Beyond private sales, Mobility Scotland has built a strong presence in the public sector, working with local authorities across Glasgow and the West. The company has also formed a vital partnership with MND Scotland, helping to transform homes for people living with motor neuron disease since 2021. Billy added, "Partnering with MND Scotland has been both incredibly fulfilling and emotionally challenging. We work closely with healthcare professionals to provide tailored solutions, ensuring individuals can live with dignity and comfort. The impact we've made in this space is something I'm deeply proud of." Looking ahead, Billy aims to continue evolving Mobility Scotland's services, particularly in home accessibility. The company is investing in innovative stairlift and discrete accessibility adaptations, ensuring people can future-proof their homes while maintaining aesthetic appeal. With a target of reaching £3 million in turnover within the next 2.5 years, Mobility Scotland's 5-year plan includes expansion into the east of Scotland, growing the team to 15 staff members, and increasing expertise across sales, surveying, technical support and administration. Despite the company's steady growth, Billy remains hands-on with no plans to step away from the business anytime soon. "I'll keep going as long as I can," he said with a smile. "I fully intend to pop off with my boots on." For more information on Mobility Scotland, visit mobilityscotlandlimited.co.uk. That's mobilityscotlandltd.co.uk. That article was written by Kevin Roberts and read by Ian McKenna. This Week in History. March 20, 1989. The IRA killed 2 senior Royal Ulster Constabulary officers in an ambush. On this day last year, a wrecked warship discovered decades ago off the Florida Keys was identified as a British frigate that sank in the 18th century. March 21st, 1963. Alcatraz, the notorious maximum security prison in San Francisco Bay, was closed. March 22nd, 1979. The British ambassador in Holland, Sir Richard Sykes, was shot dead by 2 IRA gunmen who opened fire outside his home in The Hague. March 23, 1966. The first official meeting for 400 years between the Catholic and the Anglican churches took place in Rome between Pope Paul VI and Dr. Ramsay, the Archbishop of Canterbury. March 24, 1944. The breakout of prisoner of war camp Stalag Luft 3 by 76 inmates began. The event was the inspiration for the movie The Great Escape. On this day last year, a 27-metre fishing boat sank off the coast of Shetland, Scotland, prompting a huge rescue operation. The 8 crew were lifted from their life raft by helicopter and taken to Sunborough Airport. All were reported to be well. And that was This Week in History, Wednesday the 19th of March.
Murderer shot victim in street. A report by Kevin McRoberts. A man has pleaded guilty to murder following a fatal shooting of a 44-year-old man in Glasgow. John McGregor died after being shot on Thursday, August 26, 2021, in Westray Street. Malcolm McNee, 61, pleaded guilty to murder and attempting to pervert the course of justice on Wednesday, March 5th, at the High Court in Glasgow. 2 other men have also been convicted of offences in connection with the death. Rhys Traynor, 25, admitted firearm offences and attempting to pervert the course of justice when he appeared at the High Court on the same day. Craig Gallagher, 45, pleaded guilty to possession of an offensive weapon and breach of the peace at the High Court on Monday, March 10, following an incident in Westerhill Road, Bishopbriggs, on Tuesday, September 21, 2021. Detective Inspector Keith Runcie said, "John's family have been devastated by his needless death and our thoughts remain with them. Nothing can bring him back, but we hope these convictions offer some closure." Through extensive inquiries by the Major Investigation Team, we identified McNee as being responsible for John's murder, with Traynor and Gallagher playing a part in this horrific crime. The community was left shocked by John's killing, which was carried out in a residential street. It showed a complete disregard for public safety by those involved. Violence such as this is never acceptable in our communities, and we will work tirelessly to ensure those responsible are brought to justice. I want to thank the public for their support and everyone who worked on this investigation. That report was written by Kevin McRoberts and read by me, Nikki.
Disgraceful council tax hike as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. The decision to hike council tax in East Dunbartonshire by 13% has been blasted by a local MSP. West Scotland MSP Pam Gosel pointed out the decision to impose the rise, the third highest in Scotland, was backed by every political party except the Scottish Conservatives and some independent councillors. Ms Gosel described the increase as out of proportion and a consequence of years of SNP government funding decisions. She added that the move would hit hard-working people in the pocket at the worst possible time. The Scottish Conservative MSP said this disgraceful rise is unfair and will hammer people across East Dunbartonshire when they can least afford it. The SNP, Labour and the Liberal Democrats who decided to vote for this must explain to council taxpayers why they have to endure a larger rise than almost everywhere else in the country. The SNP government also has some explaining to do. Years of savage cuts to local government funding have cut council budgets to the bone. Now hard-working people are being forced to pick up the pieces as they continue to deal with the consequences of a global cost of living crisis. Council leader Gordon Lowe last week said local government was facing incredibly difficult financial pressures, but the council had managed to set and agree a budget that reduces our costs, increases our income, and continues to deliver our essential services in the heart of our communities. Library pilots quiet times. Quiet times are being piloted at Bishopbriggs Library, offering people serene spaces to read, relax, browse or use a computer. Libraries can sometimes be busy places hosting school visits, craft workshops, computer classes, author talks and other activities. But some users need a different library environment where they can relax, browse through a book, focus on a project or use a computer. This can be particularly valuable for people who are neurodivergent, living with anxiety, or who want a break from the hustle and bustle. East Dunbartonshire Leisure and Culture Trust is piloting quiet times at Bishopbriggs Library starting this Thursday, March the 20th. Sessions will take place on Thursday mornings from 10 a.m. to noon, Saturday afternoons from noon to 2 p.m, and Wednesday evenings from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. If the pilot proves popular, quiet times may be extended to other libraries.
Concessionary travel fares to change from next month. The Strathclyde Concessionary Travel Scheme will introduce a new concessionary fare structure on April 1. This will see a move away from the current basic concessionary fare to a new half fare with cap structure. Capped fares will apply for all ferry journeys and certain rural rail journeys. It means that from April 1, for the majority of concessionary journeys, the Strathclyde Concessionary Travel Scheme will offer a minimum of 50% discount against operator standard fares. The scheme relies on funding from 12 local authorities in the west of Scotland and provides discounts for users on rail, SPT subway and ferry services for eligible island and peninsula residents. It helps facilitate more than 5 million journeys each year at a typical cost of £4.5 million annually. With increasing demand for Strathclyde concessionary travel, alongside increasing operator fares, it became clear that, without changes, the scheme was in danger of closing or being significantly curtailed, with only 1 or 2 years' worth of funding reserves remaining. The decision to introduce a new fare structure was made following an in-depth review of the scheme carried out in 2020, with recommendations presented to the committee in March 2021. With the pandemic, the decision was deferred. However, it has been considered each year since, and further deferral has been ruled out. Councillor Stephen Dornan, SCTS Joint Committee Chairman, said, "While we appreciate and fully support the popularity of the concessionary travel scheme, the basic fare structure it was operating under was putting the scheme at risk. Concessionary fares have not kept pace with wider operator fare increases, so the scheme has been costing more year on year, and local authorities simply cannot afford to contribute more. We faced the prospect of losing the scheme if we didn't make substantial changes. From April 1st, we will implement a half standard fare and a revised cap on ferry and rural rail routes, with fares increasing in line with fare inflation each year. The cap will be set for the first year at £2.50 single and £4 return. Visit https://www.spt.co.uk/tickets/concessions for more information.
Adam bids for key seat by Kevin McRoberts. The Scottish Liberal Democrats have announced former charity worker Adam Harley has been selected as the party's candidate for its key target of Strathkelvin and Bearsden at next year's Scottish Parliament election. The seat significantly overlaps with the UK Parliament constituency of Mid Dumbartonshire, which was won by Liberal Democrat Susan Murray by almost 10,000 votes at the recent election. Adam grew up and went to school in Bishopbriggs, where he lives with his wife and son. He originally worked in theatre and the arts before moving over to the charity sector, fighting for the rights of people with cystic fibrosis to access life-saving medicines. He's also volunteered for organisations educating children from disadvantaged backgrounds and worked with groups supporting young people in danger of becoming involved in the criminal justice system, helping them turn their lives around. He now works for Alex Cole-Hamilton, leader of the Scottish Liberal Democrats. The current SNP MSP Rona Mackay has announced that she will be standing down at the forthcoming election. Adam said, "So many people feel like nothing works anymore and that politicians aren't on their side. I am committed to listening to the people and communities that make up Strathkelvin and Bearsden and giving my all to make sure they have the representation they deserve." Under the SNP, our NHS has deteriorated, local schools are left in disrepair, and the cost of living has risen, making day-to-day life harder for everyone. It's time for change. I want to build on the success of Susan Murray in the recent UK Parliament election and work to make life easier, fairer and more affordable for everyone who lives here. Alex Cole-Hamilton MSP commented, "Adam will be a great MSP. He has the experience and energy to represent Strathkelvin and Bearsden and will speak up for residents on the issues that matter most, like swift access to local healthcare and well-funded local services." After our stunning victory in Mid Dumbartonshire at last summer's election, where we pushed the SNP back into second place, this is now a top target for my party at next year's Scottish Parliament election. Voters will have a choice, a hard-working local champion in Adam Harley, or more of the same with the SNP. That article was written by Kevin McRoberts, and it was read by Jahan.
Rise in fares announced by First Bus, a report by Kevin McRoberts. First Bus is increasing some of the fares across its Glasgow network, including its two-trip day and weekly tickets. The bus company says the changes are due to inflationary pressures such as rising fuel and maintenance costs. From Sunday, March 30th, adult day city/local tickets will move from £5.60 to £5.90. Two-trip city/local tickets will rise from £5.20 to £5.60, and adult week city/local tickets will go from £22.50 to £24.50. Single tickets, First Unlimited and selected other fares are also going up. Graham McFarland, Commercial Director for First Bus Scotland, said, "We know that a fare increase is never welcome and we always want to keep ticket prices as low as possible. However, the reality is that we, like other transport operators, are facing substantial inflationary pressures across the board. We want our customers to know that we will continue to invest in our operations. Our end goal is always to keep improving services and make sure that our passengers can access reliable public transport." The public transport operator is investing heavily in the running of its network, electrifying its Glasgow fleet with more new electric buses entering the network, as well as using cutting-edge AI software to create timetables that make its services more reliable by accounting for factors like congestion and roadworks. Congestion alone in Glasgow costs First Bus over £10 million each year in additional investment in resources such as additional drivers and buses on routes across the city to ensure its buses continue to maintain current timetables. That report was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Male Voice Choir's 2025 concert. Kirkintilloch Male Voice Choir's annual concert will be staged at the iconic St Mary's Parish Church in Kirkintilloch on Saturday, April the 5th at 7 p.m. The choir is again supported by main sponsors Nonna's Kitchen and Bar and Holmes Book Factoring. Part of the proceeds will go to Glasgow Children's Hospital's charity, Cross Basket House. The house gives parents and siblings of young patients somewhere close to the hospital to stay while their loved ones receive treatment. Guests will be New Day Vocal Harmony, who were formed in 1981 from pupils at Kirkintilloch High. The group's repertoire includes everything from pop to Scottish songs and hits from musicals. Tickets, £10, are available from choir members or Walker's newsagents. Townhead. Call 0141 775 2437. Email tickets_KMVC@hotmail.co.uk or go to the Ticket Source website. The author of that article is unattributed and it was read by Ian.
Payout after baby injured at nursery by Kevin McRoberts. A mum was horrified to learn that her 7-month-old baby suffered a fractured skull at the nursery where she worked. Kira Young, 26, felt confident to leave daughter Lexi Hurls with colleagues at Primrose City Nursery in Glasgow after working there for around 2 years. But on the Tot's third settling in session, which was just 2 hours long, she fell and suffered a skull fracture and brain injury. Kira, from Hogganfield, only found out when she saw her tiny daughter in distress at the arranged pick-up time, but to this day claims she remains unclear about how it happened. The Care Inspectorate upheld all 3 complaints over the incident, and Lexi's family has now settled a 5-figure legal action. Kira said, "That nursery was the very place I worked, so I felt safe to leave Lexi there. It's not because I expected my daughter to get special care or anything like that. It was simply because I believed in the staff, having worked beside them for so long. It just makes it all the worse when your own colleagues and bosses let you down in this way. What happened to my wee girl just proves childcare workers cannot take their eye off the ball for a moment. We're lucky Lexi recovered, but it could have been so much worse. I just don't ever want to see another parent go through this kind of thing and feel speaking out is all parents can do to look out for each other. Lexi's injury happened on March 24th, 2023. After being taken to the Royal Hospital for Children in Govan, the infant was diagnosed with a skull fracture and mild brain injury. She was discharged 2 days later, but readmitted the following day after bouts of vomiting and fever. Medics observed Lexi for another day before being confident with a medical discharge. The tot continued to show signs of distress and discomfort for 3 months before finally being able to settle. Kira claims she was told 2 different versions of how the incident happened. One where Lexi was supervised and simply threw her head back, which struck the floor, and a second account where the staff member moved away from her before she fell backwards. Kira was unhappy with the nursery response and contacted the Care Inspectorate with 3 complaints alleging a lack in care, that nursery bosses failed to contact her quickly enough, and that no copy of an accident report was provided when Lexi was collected. The Care Inspectorate upheld all 3 complaints. Kira added, "Seeing your child like that, there's no words. I was just horrified, terrified, furious, just thinking the worst about everything. It's still a mystery what happened. I'll never know for sure. But the most important things are that Lexi is better, the nursery was held accountable, and hopefully parents and nurseries learn something from this." Kira made a nursery injury claim with Digby Brown solicitors. Agents for the nursery originally denied liability, meaning a court action had to be raised. However, the nursery insurance company agreed to compensate the family with a 5-figure sum in an out-of-court settlement. Kira no longer works for the nursery and is now focused on the future. A Digby Brown spokesman said, "The pictures of Lexi's injuries are shocking, so no one can imagine how much scarier it must have been at the time for both mother and daughter. We are pleased that Lexi recovered and that Kira secured the outcome she sought. But this should rightly serve as an emphatic warning to childcare services everywhere. There are robust yet common sense safety procedures for a reason, and they simply must be adhered to if children are to stay safe." The Herald contacted Primrose City Nursery, but had not received a response by the time we went to print. A national newspaper quoted a nursery spokesperson that it could not discuss individual cases, but stressed the well-being of the children and its service to their families was of paramount importance. The spokesman said, "The care of children is absolutely critical to all aspects of our nursery. It is a very happy and safe environment for our many children." It was also pointed out that a recent inspection concluded the setting was very good, and the nursery was praised for its nurturing and inclusive ethos. That article was written by Kevin McRoberts. Show of Support for ASN Learning by Julie Curry. An education seminar was held recently for people who work with children and young people with additional support needs in East Dunbartonshire. More than 300 teachers, support assistants, social work staff and health colleagues attended the Council's annual Additional Support Needs, or ASN, showcase, held in its flagship ASN school, Woodland View in Kirkintilloch. The all-day event gave participants the opportunity to attend 4 interactive workshops, choosing their preferred learning points from more than a dozen themes. These themes included supporting young people with neurodiversity, supporting language and communication, ASN inclusive sports, keeping the promise, and trauma-informed practice in the classroom and help for young carers. The day's keynote speech was delivered by Fran Foreman, Education Scotland's Senior Education Officer for Inclusion, Wellbeing and Equality. Speaking after the event, Fran said, "It was an exciting and valuable networking and learning event that provided a wide range of information and sharing of practice set within the Scottish inclusive context. The event's positive atmosphere demonstrated the enthusiasm and drive to support all children and young people in East Dunbartonshire, including those who require additional support. During breaks and at lunchtime, there was an opportunity for participants to visit the huge village of stalls set up in the large open spaces of the school. This enabled them to engage with fellow guests, network, and find out more about particular subjects for further learning." Councillor Linda Williamson, convener of the Council's Education Committee, opened the showcase and met participants and contributors. She said, "This was a fantastic opportunity for professionals in this very complex field to get together and share best practice with one another. Not only did they bring vast amounts of experience and expertise, but they demonstrated a passion and commitment to do their very best for children and young people with additional support needs. My thanks to them all for coming along to embrace new ideas and continue their professional development, to ensure that all our children and young people receive an education that meets their own specific needs and enables them to reach their full potential. Thanks also to the organisers within the Education Service who provided an event to excite and inspire everyone who came along. Since legislation in 2004 to make additional support for learning, or ASL, more inclusive, there has been an 8-fold increase in pupils recorded as receiving ASL. Currently, 40% of Scottish pupils, or 285,000 children, receive ASL. Almost all support is now delivered in mainstream classrooms. A duty to support. Additional support for learning, ASL, has become an increasingly central part of what teachers do. ASL needs can be both long and short term, or can simply refer to the help a child or young person needs in getting through a difficult period. There are many reasons children and young people may need support to help them learn, including a disability or health reasons, family circumstances, or social and emotional factors. The Education Additional Support for Learning Scotland Act 2004 informs practitioners and organisations of their duties and parents of their rights in respect of the provision of support for young people. That article was written by Julie Curry.
Society Masterclass in Tax-Free Savings, a report by Kevin McRoberts. A masterclass in tax-free savings is taking place at the Yorkshire Building Society in Bishopbriggs today, Wednesday, March 19. Savers are invited to the branch at the Triangle Shopping Centre between 9 a.m. and noon to make the most of the current tax year and learn more about their tax-free savings allowances, as well as how individual savings accounts work. ISAs. The Society's customers and members of the public can receive help and information about tax-free savings and understanding allowances, find out about options when it comes to choosing products, or discuss what to do if they need further help. The branch will also open on Saturdays, April 5 and 12 from 9 a.m. to noon to meet extra demand for people wanting to open or pay money into their ISAs. The team will be on hand to provide information on ISAs as well as open new accounts. Existing customers will also be able to visit the branch at these times to pay in and top up their existing ISAs. Pete Lewis, Senior Savings Manager at Yorkshire Building Society, said, "We're hosting these events to try to help people to better understand tax-free savings and their options and explain the support available to them when it comes to finding the best home for their savings. Our branch team will be on hand to answer questions and signpost people to more help and advice." With so much speculation around the future of cash ISAs, this has prompted a lot of questions from our customers. We hope by listening to people's questions and concerns, we can help them learn more about how they can make the most of their tax-free allowances and the types of accounts that might suit them. Pete added, "By opening our branches on Saturday, April 5 and 12, we hope savers will be able to take advantage and make their annual tax-free subscription count. Making our branch services available at the weekend around the end and start of a new tax year makes it possible for our customers to make the most of their savings in a way that best suits them, be that in the branch, online or via our app, and supports our aim to continue to provide real help to our customers and members." In recent years, the end of the tax year and beginning of the next has seen demand for new Yorkshire Building Society accounts more than double. That report was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Volunteer Director. Time is running out for people to make a pitch to join the Eastern Berkshire Leisure and Culture Trust EDLCT Board. A voluntary vacancy has arisen for Independent Director, who will work with partner directors and independent members of the Trust Board to oversee the delivery of local leisure and cultural services. Applications should be returned by this Friday, March the 21st. Ideally, volunteers will be knowledgeable in either or both leisure and cultural services and or skilled in a profession or other capacity, such as finance and audit. On average, the successful applicant will serve on the Trust Board and subgroups around 8 days per year. An application pack is available by emailing Maeve Kilcoyne, Company Secretary at Maeve, Maeve.Kilcoyne, Kilcoyne, at easternbarton.gov.uk.
More movies hit the big screen at Kirky Cinema by Kevin McRoberts. Tickets are on sale for the latest films from Kirky Cinema in Kirkintilloch Town Hall, featuring some waterbending and a little bit of wickedness. Movies are lined up for the last Saturdays of March and April, while the dementia-friendly cinema is on the first Friday of the month. On the bill for Saturday, March 29th are Moana 2, PG at 1 p.m, and Wicked, PG at 3:30 p.m. Moana 2 offers a water-bending adventure on the high seas, and that's followed by the green witch that may or may not have been born wicked. On Saturday, April 26th, the offering is Mufasa, the Lion King, PG at 1 p.m, and Maria 2024 at 3:30 p.m. Mufasa is the prequel to The Lion King, while Angelina Jolie sings her heart out as the legendary opera singer Maria Callas. The next dementia-friendly cinema will be on Friday, April 4th, with details of what's going to be on the big screen being announced soon on the Kirky Cinema website. Cinema manager Serena Marshall said, "Our dementia-friendly screenings are in partnership with Alzheimer's Scotland's Anne O'Donnell, who supports and advises us in coordinating our screenings to ensure they fit the needs of those people in our community living with dementia. These screenings are a personal project for me, as both of my grands has Alzheimer's disease and never had the opportunity to attend something like this. Making our community more dementia-friendly is an important goal, and the cinema is a step in the right direction. With help from East Dunbartonshire Voluntary Action, EDVA, Community Wellbeing Fund, we can enhance these showings, and are now offering them in the main hall of Kirkintilloch Town Hall, as it helps promote nostalgia in the community members who attend. EDVA recently awarded Kirky Cinema £2,500 to help with the running costs of its dementia-friendly screenings. Tickets for all movie screenings by Kirky Cinema are available online at the website kirkycinema.ticketlight.co.uk. Booking fee applies, or you can pay at the door. Snacks and refreshments are available to purchase at the kiosk. That article was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Vietnam holiday win. A lucky Bishopbriggs man has won a holiday in Vietnam courtesy of Stuart Travel. Mark Anthony Cole can now enjoy an incredible prize which includes return flights and 7 nights in 4-star accommodation for 2 adults in the enchanting cities of Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi. The prize draw, which ran throughout February, was promoted extensively across the Stuart Travel website, direct mail and social media channels, attracting over 15,000 entries. And following the overwhelming response, Mark Anthony was randomly selected as the lucky winner and called into the Bishopbriggs branch to collect his prize. A Stuart Travel spokesperson said, "Congratulations to Mr. Cole. Stuart Travel also wishes to thank everyone who took part. Stay tuned for more fantastic opportunities and exclusive offers from Stuart Travel."
Heart of the Matter by Dr. Frank Dunn. Outcome of falling from my perch. Quite a number of my Heart of the Matter articles down the years have addressed the issues of falls and their consequences for the health service, family, and most importantly, the patients themselves. I would passionately lecture from my soapbox about being risk-averse and, for example, presuming there is black ice outside the house in winter until proven otherwise. I would speak with eloquence of always having one hand free when going to the bins and not jumping over tiny walls. Well, dear readers, how the mighty fall. 2 weeks ago I skipped over a small grass verge without a care in the world, and 2 seconds later I was on my backside with the right leg in an odd position and rather painful. My wife and 2 grandchildren were in attendance, and the 2-year-old was distinctly unimpressed when he realised that going to meet his cousins later that day was not going to happen. Off we went to the Queen Elizabeth University Hospital, to the minor injuries unit, as the A&E department was stowed out. Minor injuries were excellent. Assessment, X-ray and diagnosis, all within 90 minutes. I had a ruptured quads tendon, and surgery was required. After seeing the surgeon, the operation was undertaken 2 days later. The day of the operation was a bit of a blur. The surgeon was happy with the outcome, although during the procedure I was noted to have a run of unusual heartbeats. "Send for cardiology," they cried. The heart doctor needs a heart doctor, and that was decided upon. I spent 24 hours in the orthopaedic ward. The staff were very stretched, but overall the care was very good. The evening meal arrived promptly at 4:45 p.m. The baked potato had seen better days, and the apple on offer for dessert had a large open cut in it and several soggy areas. I politely declined subsequent lunches and dinners, although the cereal and roll for breakfast were just what the doctor ordered. I met the excellent physiotherapy team the next day. They provided me with much-needed advice and armoured me with a selection of aids for lifting my leg, dressing and facilitating visits to the toilet. This included a toilet seat, which my long-suffering wife had to lug over to the car in as surreptitious a way as possible. The cardiologists decided that I needed to spend some time in the coronary care unit to look further at the heart rhythm. I knew most of the staff there, including the excellent consultant. Over a 48-hour period, I had one further run of what turned out to be atrial fibrillation, and that was it. We agreed that this blip required nothing other than outpatient monitoring. A great relief. I was discharged with a sizable brace on my leg. This is to be in place for around 10 weeks, with gradual loosening from time to time to allow the knee to start to bend. I am entering uncharted seas. 10 weeks without golf or car driving will be a challenge. Stoating around the house is something my long-suffering wife will have to adapt to, and indeed I am pretty dependent on that special lady for a considerable number of day-to-day activities. I just hope I can be as good a patient as Helen is a nurse. That article was written by Dr. Frank Dunn.
The Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald letter page, date Wednesday the 19th of March. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @JNScotland.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Shelterbox Book Club. Sir, with every book read, a very special community of bookworms is helping to shelter people all over the world who have been uprooted from their homes by tropical storms, flooding and earthquakes. The bookworms are making a difference to the lives of people they will never meet simply through their love of reading. As members of Shelterbox Books Club, they are helping to fund the international disasters relief charity Shelterbox. It's no ordinary book club, and gifting membership to it would be no ordinary Mother's Day present. It's a unique gift full of possibilities, connecting your loved one with a community of book lovers and immersing them in diverse cultures and captivating stories, all whilst reading real-life stories with happier endings. A gift membership to Shelterbox Books Club is a thoughtful, ethical and keeps on giving. Better still, membership is virtual, so there's almost no delay between purchase and gifting. Every 6 weeks, members receive a book in the post, inspired by the people Shelterbox supports around the world, and an invitation to an online Q&A with the author. Find out more at shelterbox.org/book-club. Yours, etc., Catherine Thornhill, Head Bookworm, Shelterbox. We were robbed. Sir, with the world interest in Scottish renewable power projects, it seems the devolution settlement prevents Holyrood from setting up its own energy company for this new bonanza. It was 50 years ago that the UK Macron report was published. In one section it pointed out that North Sea oil and gas could have made Scotland rich, but this was not revealed by Westminster until 2005. Scotland's renewable energy production share is now one of the highest in Europe, yet Scots have the most expensive power bills in the British Isles. The Highlands and Englands are particularly hard hit by rising energy bills, despite having the highest renewable energy development in the UK. However, since nearly 7% of Scotland's renewable energy capacity is community owned, we should push for more such ownership, which is within our devolved powers. Community ownership of energy should be our urgent call as we seek to regain independence. In conclusion, Scotland has been robbed by both UK Tory and Labour governments of this North Sea oil wealth, which was covered up for decades. If independence had been secured in the 1970s, our country would have become so much better off. With this new energy bonanza, we cannot let this happen again. Yours, etc., Grant Fraser, by email. Tartan Luddites. Sir, if ever an occasion has arisen that shows perfectly the Luddite mentality of the SNP, it is surely their blind refusal of the UK's offer for them to join the development and installation of small and ultra-modern nuclear power plants. The plants are not dependent on the vagaries of wind. They do not kill local wildlife or ruin treasured landscapes. But the SNP would rather Scots hid themselves in caves without fossil fuels. Yours, etc., Alexander Mackay. Address provided. Leadership Change Impact. Sir, with the recent resignation of Nicola Sturgeon from active politics, a significant era in Scotland's governance has come to an end. As she steps back, we must consider how this leadership change will impact local councils and their ability to serve communities effectively. Sturgeon's lengthy tenure saw considerable focus on national issues, sometimes at the expense of local priorities. As she exits, this may present an opportunity for new leaders to redirect attention to the specific needs of localities across Scotland. Renowned author and thinker George Orwell observed, "In a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act." It is now time for local leaders to prioritise transparency and accountability in their governance, ensuring that community voices are heard and considered. As Scotland navigates its political future, we must encourage those who aspire to fill Sturgeon's role to embrace a collaborative approach with local councils. Empowering councils to make decisions that resonate with their constituents will be crucial for restoring public confidence and fostering effective governance. The departure of one leader should spark the beginning of renewed engagement at the local level. The future of our communities depends on it. Yours, etc., Alistair Marjorie, by email. And that was this week's letters page, Wednesday the 19th of March.
Good day to you, it's Philip here, reading the church news, the local church news under the district news of the Kirkintilloch Herald. And first of all, we're going to our normal church we do first, that's Milton-a-Campsie Parish Church. Yes, you guessed it, in Milton-a-Campsie. And the advert they have in the paper is called Marmalada Holiday Club. And there's a wee photograph of Paddy Timbear, who's famous for marmalada sandwiches. And I still remember him doing the sketch with the Queen. It was brilliant. Marmalada is this year's Go Mad theme. Stories of Jesus will be brought to Milton-a-Campsie Parish Church by a refugee bear from darkest Peru, beginning on Sunday, July the 27th. It will run for almost 2 weeks, culminating in a charity concert on Thursday, August the 5th. There will be events for everyone, youngsters and adults. Preparations have begun as there are only 19 weeks to go. Following last Friday's World Day of Prayer Unity celebrations, where St Paul's, St Mackin's and Campsie churches have taken place, now ecumenical Bible studies are being held in Campsie Church, Lennoxtown, on Mondays at 2:30 p.m. And looking forward towards the union with Campsie Church, a steering group has been formed and we're aiming at a service of union at the end of November. Our Minister Julie is now interim moderator as well at St David's Memorial Park Church in Kirkintilloch. Meantime, Catholic Connect is on Tuesdays 9:30 till 12 noon. Time to pray on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. in the Eric Liddell room, followed at 7:45 by Teams meeting. On Fridays at 6:15, the Boys Brigade Anchor Boys and junior sections will meet. And then on Monday at 9:45 a.m, Baby and Toddler Group at 2 p.m, Hobbies Club at 7:30 p.m, and the Badminton Club. Now to Bishopbriggs, to Kenmure Parish Church. On Sunday morning, worship begins at 11 a.m. and will be led by Mrs. Margaret Russell. Visitors to the area will be made very welcome when they join us for our services. You can attend either in person or online on our YouTube channel. The service on YouTube can be watched live as it is streamed or later at a time that suits you. You can find the channel by simply searching Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. There will be a period of fellowship following the service in the hall when teas, coffees, juice, etc. will be served. The most up-to-date details of all our groups that are running currently can be found on the WhatsApp section. WhatsApp? No, it's not on WhatsApp, it's on What's On section of our website, kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. And if you'd like to join in the WhatsApp group this time, for Bible studies, then contact us by email, kenmurechurch@icloud.com. And then to Torrance Parish Church, the morning service in person at 10:30 a.m, conducted by the Minister Stuart Evan. During the service, the youngsters meet together in Crest, Junior Church and Frog. To join the service online, click torranceparishchurch.online church. The cafe is open every Wednesday 9 till 12 noon for teas, coffees and delicious home baking. Why not come and taste for yourself? The Boys Brigade meet on Wednesdays 7 till 9, P7 to S6 age group. To find out about regular week activities, yeah, you guessed it, check the website for what's on at www.tpc.org.uk. Wow, now to Cadder Parish Church beside the canal. For full details, please see their website, cadderchurch.org. We look forward to welcome you this coming Sunday to our morning services at 10:30am. Services will be led by the Reverend John McGregor, and music is led by usual by Javier Malo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Our church services are videoed and recorded and are available from the church website. Tea, coffee is also served after each service. The food bank, if you wish to donate to the local food bank, you can bring your donations of food to the church or the coffee shop. Cadder Coffee Shop is open on Tuesdays to Thursday, 10 till 2 p.m, Friday, 10 till 12 noon. All are welcome, yes, all are welcome to come and enjoy good food and fellowship. And the Guild fundraiser in aid of our projects is a concert by the New Day Singers on Thursday, March the 30th at 7:30 p.m. Chat and Play is on Saturday, April the 5th at 10 a.m, South Hall Early Fellowship on Zoom and in person at the South Hall. Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Earth Hour, whatever that is, Earth Hour, Saturday, March the 22nd, 8:30 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. We'll be holding a special service of reflection, starting at Cadder Church car park gates, then moving up to the church. And if you'd like to join us, please switch off all the lights and heating at home before leaving. You can then please make your way to the top of the hill near the North Hall and walk down to meet us around 8:25 p.m. Bring a torch with you. If you are unable to join us, please think about switching off all power and heating at your home between 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, March the 22nd, and consider or discuss what you personally or as a family you can do in a small way to slow the effects of climate change. Caring for Creation Service. Our next Caring Creation Service will be on Sunday, March the 23rd in the church at the usual time. Cadder Singers, we are now working towards our Easter concert, which will be on Wednesday, April in Cadder South Hall, Kirkintilloch Road. And now, the Lent Reflections, weekly till it was beyond, sorry, let me get my brain in gear. It'll be on weekly until Easter. Sunday, March the 23rd, 7 till 8 p.m. in the South Hall. Wednesday, March the 19th in South Hall Chapel at 11:30 a.m. till noon. And Cadder 200 concert, Glasgow Philharmonic Choir on April the 4th at 7:30 p.m. in the Sanctuary. Wow, a lot going on there in Cadder Parish Church. And now we move to Springfield Cambridge Church. And that's on Sunday, March the 23rd. The morning worship will be conducted by Ian Taylor in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. An offering will be taken during the service. Please place your offering in the offering plates as they are passed around the congregation. Tea and coffee will be served in the Cameron Hall after morning worship. Come and enjoy the fellowship. The Sunday school meets in room 2, where creche facilities are available for young people in the Sunday school, and glad to have you along. All their kids there. Worship is also live streamed at springfieldcambridge.org.uk and in the Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. Vestry hours on Wednesday, March the 19th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. For anyone who would like to speak with the minister, this will be followed by a short midweek service in Springfield Cambridge Chapel from 11:10 to 11:30, and tea and coffee and chat in the Hall of Fellowship. The Guild is inviting the congregation to join them in supporting the Eastern Battenshire Food Bank warehouse by bringing donations and leaving them in the cupboard in the cloakroom. A list of it will be attached to the cupboard identifying specific needs and items especially requested. Tickets for the quiz and fish supper night is on Friday, April the 11th, and will be available in the Hall of Fellowship on Sundays, March the 23rd, March the 30th and April the 6th from members of the fundraising group. They will be there to take your donations if you wish to contribute. And now we move to Kirkintilloch, to the Church of God there at Regent Hall, Regent Street on Sunday at 11:30am. A short message from the Bible from Tony Smith. A warm welcome to everyone able to join us every Wednesday. Coffee Corner is open from 12 noon to 2pm for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and neighbours for a coffee and a chat. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website, regenthall.org. And a quote from the Bible, God demonstrates his love for us. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And that's found in Romans 5, verse 8. And now to Home Church in Lammermuir Road, Kirkintilloch. Also, they have a sister church in East End in Carnmile. And then they have a home kitchen cafe church in Skilmorley, which is new, and also online for all ages. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all that you do, as he will direct your paths. And that's from Proverbs 3:5. Sunday in Kirkintilloch campus, 9:30 and 11:30. Worship service followed by our refreshments, and a warm welcome awaits you at either service, which will be identical. There is also a creche and Sunday school. Carmel campus at 10:30am, evening service with communion on the first and fourth Sunday of the month at various locations at 6:30pm. Monday, ladies' prayer meeting at 7pm. Read through the Bible discussion on Zoom every fortnight at 8pm. And on Tuesdays, they have the engine room at 9:30am. Zoom Bible study 2:30 in the afternoon till 4pm. Yes. And Wednesday and Bible study groups in the church and online. Thursday prayer meeting in the church at 7am. Football is at 7:30pm. Fridays the youth group meet at 7:30. The prayer meeting also meets as well at 7:30pm. Home radio is available every day. See Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for information for Carmel, Home Church, Cafe, Church, Skilmorley and Kirkintilloch. Now to Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday worship is at 11am. A creche is available for children under 3. The Quilt and Craft group, that is, not graft but craft, meet every Wednesday 10 till 12 noon in the session room. Scottish Country Dancing is not meeting in the session room, but they'll meet in the hall at 7:15 till 9:30pm. Come along for fun, fitness and friendship. I like that alliteration. Fun, fitness and friendship. You'll be made very welcome. Christian Aid Scotland is holding a series of drop-ins around the country, and we in Lenzie Old are hosting one of the first. This is open to all who wish to know a bit more about Christian Aid and its work they do today in 2025. Representatives of staff from Christian Aid Scotland will be available to answer any questions, and the usual tea, coffee and tasty bite will be available. There is no cost for this event. Details, please drop in Saturday, March the 22nd, 10 till 12 noon. And now to St James Church, Hilton Road in Bishopbriggs. The minister there is Paul Watson. There's a communion service in the chapel on Thursday, March the 20th at 11am and at 9am on Sunday, March the 23rd. The 10:30am communion service with hymns is in the church and on Zoom on Sunday. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of these services. Do stay on for tea, coffee and fellowship in the hall afterwards. And a date for your diary, Sunday, March the 30th, 7pm, Journey Evening Renewing Our Mind. There are also other virtual services and groups for you to catch out, and information refers to their social media site, Facebook, St James LS Bishopbriggs. Website again is stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Now Lenzie Union Parish Church, the Sunday service is at 11am. Young people are also welcome at Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service available on YouTube. We also have the meeting place open for tea and coffee and home baking every Wednesday till 10 till 12 noon in the new hall. Everyone from the very young to the young at heart is welcome to attend, and we also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. The coffee pot, which is another version of coming for a wee cup of tea, is on Fridays. And also they have home baking as well, and a warm, friendly atmosphere for all ages. Art for Seniors is on Monday, March the 24th at 1:30pm in the new hall, enjoy creating a piece of art under the step-by-step guidance of artist Beth McCluskey. No experience is needed. If you want any more information on any of these things, contact Margaret. Her number is 07792 168826 to book your place. And now lastly to St David's Memorial, or SDMP it's called now. On Sunday, March the 23rd, we welcome back our former local minister, John Nicholson. John's sermon is entitled When Jesus Brought Hope and More, and it is a reflection on the miracle of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead. This miracle reflects much of the events on Easter Day. Hope is the main theme of the service. This miracle brought hope and new life to all, and then it does as it does today. Yes, please come and join us at 10:30 a.m. Also this week, our monthly Rolls Away snacks is starting after the morning service. Breakfast rolls available, along with our usual tea and coffee, with all profits going towards the youth and young adult build trip to South Africa in 2026. Once again, we are asking for donations of Easter eggs for the Lodging House mission. Easter eggs should be brought along to the church by April the 13th in order that we can deliver them in time for Easter. Our Tuesday lunchtime service is held in the church hall at 12 noon on Tuesday, March the 25th, and you're invited to stay afterwards for tea and coffee. Our friendship group will meet from 1 till 3 p.m. when you can bring your knitting, sewing, or just come along for a chat. So there you have it. That's all the church news for this week in Eastern Bartonshire. Thank you for listening, if you are listening. And if you're not listening, then you won't hear me talking. Anyway, God bless you, and speak to you again next week.
District news. Lincoln and Loki long for love. Two greyhounds at Dogs Trust West Calder are searching for their forever homes. The lovable lads are 3 years old and came into Dogs Trust care after their careers as racing greyhounds ended. They are both looking for homes where they can relax and enjoy plenty of sofa snuggles, which are a firm favourite activity for both affectionate boys. Lincoln and Loki are looking for homes where they are the only pets and with secure garden areas where they can play and stretch their long legs. To find out more information on Lincoln and Loki and all the dogs available for adoption at Dogs Trust West Calder, go to www.dogstrust.org.uk/West Calder. Holyrood View. Cheap public transport benefits us all, by Ross Greer MSP. Making buses and trains cheaper and easier to access has been one of my top priorities as your Green MSP. Delivering free bus travel for young people in 2022 is something I am particularly proud of. Over 200 million free journeys have now been taken by 700,000 young people across Scotland. 10,000 of these live in Eastern Bartonshire. Opening up bus travel to more young people has been transformational. I absolutely believe this is one of the biggest and most successful schemes introduced to the Scottish Parliament to date. Crucially, it has put money back into the pockets of families, and it has saved many bus routes which could otherwise have been cut due to low passenger numbers. So the scheme doesn't just help young people, it helps people of all ages who want or need to use the bus. And it isn't just about people. Free bus travel protects the planet by reducing the number of cars on our roads. Transport is Scotland's largest source of carbon emissions, so encouraging people out of cars and onto public transport is vital. This is one of the most powerful ways we can tackle the climate crisis. Fewer cars on the roads also makes them safer, reduces accidents and cleans up the air and pollution in hotspots like Bearsden Cross. We are all better off with safer streets and cleaner air. I want that for every community in Scotland, and reducing the number of cars is crucial to getting us there. That can only happen when alternative ways of getting around are actually available. That is why, on top of free bus travel for under 22s, I was pleased to secure a £2 bus cap trial in one region of Scotland for a year from January 2026. The location of the trial hasn't been confirmed yet, but the Scottish Greens aim is to roll it out everywhere once it's proven that it works. My party also removed peak fares from Scotland's railways for a year, saving regular commuters hundreds of pounds. Sadly, the Scottish Government has since brought back these despite the removal increasing passenger numbers by 10 million. The Greens will keep campaigning for peak rail fares to be scrapped permanently. The cost of living crisis and the climate crisis affect everyone, but they both hit the most vulnerable the hardest. Making public transport cheaper and preferably completely free is one of the most powerful ways we can help both people and planet. And that was a Holyrood View by Ross Greer MSP, read by Ian.
Kirkintilloch Herald. Sport. Move into Spring. Written by Lorna Thompson, read by Alan Todd. Spring sprung early as Walk Run Cycle Eastern Bartonshire, WRCED, members enjoyed the signs of the new season. Recently the group took in one of its favourite walks at this time of the year to see the impressive carpet of snowdrops at Lennox Castle. This walk starts in Lennoxtown and follows the Strathkelvin Railway towards the atmospheric building. With snow still in the hills, some members enjoyed some amazing adventures. Conditions need to be taken seriously and, as WRCED is an affiliated member of Mountaineering Scotland, safety is always important. Members always follow guidelines around kit and personal ability, but following these guidelines you are rewarded with some amazing hikes. At the start of March, members helped celebrate International Women's Day at an event in Twecker, spreading the benefits of all things walking, running and cycling. Some female members then hiked to Finn Glen Waterfall on March 8th, marking the actual date of International Women's Day. As the longer days approach, the early morning events are becoming popular again, with the early birds out weekly at 6:30am on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The group also has a regular schedule of events for Tuesday and Thursday evening walks, now live. WRCED is a strong advocate for always promoting ways to increase physical health, mental well-being and decreasing social isolation. WRCED is Eastern Bartonshire's hub for Keep Scotland Beautiful, and it regularly supports litter picking, particularly during its Spring Clean initiative. The initiative happens between March 21st and April 21st, and the group has 2 meet-up events you can join. The first is this Saturday, March 22nd, at Woodhead Park in Kirkintilloch, meeting outside Kirkintilloch Leisure Centre at 10:30am. All equipment will be provided, including refreshments and a small snack. The second is at the recently installed Fairywood in Milton of Campsie on April 5th at 10:30am. Check out the Facebook page for the event list or email wrced2020@gmail.com for more information. Written by Lorna Thompson, read by Alan Todd. Applications are open for clubs to receive funding. Uncredited. Aldi's Scottish Sport Fund 2025 has returned for its 10th year, giving sports clubs in central Scotland the opportunity to receive a share of £50,000. Since the fund was launched in 2016, it has given away almost £500,000 to support individuals of all ages and abilities to get involved in physical activity in their communities. Applications are welcome from all sporting organisations that meet the specified criteria, with last year's recipients including South Lanarkshire Wheelchair Curling Club and Bearsden Snow Sports. Graham Nicholson, Group Buying Director at Aldi Scotland, said, "We are proud to continue our support of sports clubs across Scotland and help them make a lasting impact on their communities. The response we receive every year is overwhelming, and we are looking forward to seeing even more clubs apply in 2025. I encourage all sports clubs in central Scotland to take advantage of this fantastic opportunity and apply for funding." Clubs can spend the money on a wide range of things, such as securing and upgrading training space, acquiring new kits and equipment, and welcoming more participants to their sessions. Interested parties have until Sunday, April 13th to apply for funding by filling in the form, which can be found at the Aldi website. All applications will be considered by the Aldi judging panel and entrants notified of the outcome of their application within 6 weeks from the deadline. Read by Alan Todd. Scotland's games to air on BBC. Written by Ben Banks, read by Alan Todd. The BBC has agreed an exclusive deal to broadcast all of Scotland men's national team matches on the road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Supporters have had to watch the national team from behind a paywall for more than 15 years, with games initially on Sky Sports before moving to Viaplay and Premier Sports. Recent Scotland matches have been streamed for free on YouTube, but now a broadcast deal to bring them back to free-to-air television has been sealed. The deal with UEFA covers 14 live Scotland matches to be shown on BBC One Scotland and BBC iPlayer. This includes the qualifiers for next year's World Cup 2026 against Belarus, Greece and either Portugal or Denmark, the Nations League playoff against Greece and friendlies against Iceland and Liechtenstein. SFA Chief Executive Ian Maxwell said, "We are delighted that BBC Scotland has come to agreement with UEFA for the rights to televise our Scotland men's national team on a free-to-air basis. It complements their existing coverage of the Scotland women's national team and, beyond that, their overall commitment to the domestic game in the country. We thank Viaplay for their support at this point. When it becomes apparent their rights could become available, we championed the potential for free-to-air coverage to reach as many Scotland supporters as possible, and we are grateful that BBC and UEFA could reach an agreement." Steve Clarke and the squad are heading into an exciting period, with the Nations League playoff against Greece this week, 2 friendlies in June, and a World Cup qualification campaign to look forward to. It's great to have BBC Scotland supporting us for every kick of the ball. BBC Scotland's Hayley Valentine added, "I'm so excited millions of Scotland fans will now be able to enjoy free-to-air access to all Scotland's international matches. Bringing our audience together is at the heart of BBC Scotland's work, and I know nothing ignites passion here more than live international football. It was crystal clear people wanted their national team back live on free-to-air television, and I'm delighted that we've been able to deliver." Written by Ben Banks, read by Alan Todd. City see milestone game ruined by late Hibs goal. Written by Brian Yule, read by Alan Todd. Glasgow City's big day was ruined as they lost 1-0 at home to Hibernian on Sunday in their 500th SWPL match. The hosts had the better of the first half, with Hibs keeper Noah Schumacher denying Lisa Evans and Ali Gambon, while Brenna Lovera hit the post, albeit she turned out to be offside. There was little to split the sides in the second period as Schumacher pulled off a diving save from Nicole Kozlova's drive in City's best chance of the half. However, split they would be as 7 minutes into injury time, Kirsty Morrison won it for Hibs by bundling the ball home at a corner. The result meant City slipped to third in the table, with Hibs taking over at the top of the SWPL 1. They will look to bounce back next Friday, March 28th, with a trip to face Celtic, who themselves lost to Hearts. City legend Kat Linder was honoured with the Special Award for Services to Women's Football and LGBTIQ+ Academia in Sport at the annual Football vs Homophobia Awards. Lindner, who passed away in 2019, was a key figure at the club, having arrived from German side FFC Frankfurt in 2005. She went on to make 173 appearances, scoring 128 times, as City won 5 league titles, 2 Scottish Cups and 2 League Cups. Leap Sports Scotland Executive Director Hugh Torrance said, "This award recognises not only Kat's tremendous football career, but how she combined that experience with her academic achievements and specialist interests in gender, sport and queer theory. Kat was a beautiful soul, and it is an honour to recognise her outstanding legacy to the queer sports movement with this special award." City co-founder Laura Montgomery, who was Lindner's partner for 16 years, added, "It's a wonderful tribute to Kat to receive this special award. She was an outstanding footballer, athlete and academic, and made the world a much better place for all who knew her. Thank you to Leap Sports for honouring Kat. I hope she is looking down at all of us and proud of the impact she made." Rossvale women lost 3-1 away to Kilmarnock in SWPL 2, but still remain a point above Ayr United at the bottom. Written by Brian Yule, read by Alan Todd. Rob Roy showed character to win an 8-goal thriller. Uncredited. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy boss John Gibson was delighted his side showed a wee bit of character in a goal-laden 5-3 away win to Petershill in the West of Scotland First Division. The visitors took the lead after just 5 minutes when Jamie Bowman slotted home, but the hosts equalised on 22 minutes with an excellent strike from Mark Smith. Rob Roy restored their lead on the half-hour mark when a good move afforded Dylan Watt a tap-in. Then several minutes later he pounced to double their advantage after the ball wasn't cleared. However, Petershill almost immediately pulled one back through Kyle Mitchell as he followed up on a rebound to make it 3-2 at the break. The home side then equalised 8 minutes into the second period when Regan Aitken sent Robbie Young. However, Rob Roy were not done and a cheeky chip from Bowman restored their lead 4 minutes later and Jake Stirling's header secured the 3 points in the last minute. Rob Roy remained just a point above Irvine Meadow as they looked to remain out of the relegation zone, and next up is a proverbial 6-pointer at the Ayrshire outfit as the Ayrshire outfit visit Kirkintilloch this Saturday. Gibson told the club's media team, "It was a good 3 points. We were at it for the first 25 minutes and then they scored a very good goal. We scored again and are then too busy patting ourselves on the back after the third and they've got back into it. Petershill then equalised, but we've shown a wee bit of character which is good, a wee bit of fight and determination to get the other 2 goals. It'll be another tough one against Irvine. We need to start picking up wins, so hopefully we'll get another 3 points. West of Scotland results. First Division. Petershill 3, Rob Roy 5. Second Division. Whitlets Victoria 4, Caledonian Locomotives 2. Third Division. Finnart 2, Wishaw 2. Glasgow Perthshire 1, Irvine Victoria 3. Fourth Division. Rossvale 6, Newmains United 0. St Peters 2, West Park United 1. Saturday fixtures. First Division. Blantyre Victoria versus Petershill. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy versus Irvine Meadow. Ashfield versus Ardrossan, Winton Rovers. Second Division. Caledonian Locomotives versus Bonnyton Thistle. Third Division. Girvan versus Glasgow Perthshire. Irvine Victoria versus Finnart. Fourth Division. West Park United versus Rossvale. Uncredited, read by Alan Todd.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.